their family represents the brand and vibe of hospitality. Like, no joke, y'all. The entire family, like, I didn't feel like any member of the family was like, oh man, who's this joker, this old dude, bald beard, tattooed guy hanging out in our house for a couple of days. Like, I didn't, maybe they were thinking that, but they never communicated that to me. And I'm pretty, I can be fairly savvy with feeling vibes and stuff. So I didn't feel any of those vibes. I felt like the entire family like backed up that vibe of being servant leaders. Welcome to the EQ Gangster podcast, where you will learn practical tools to grow your mental and emotional health and intelligence to be the best version of yourself, both at work and at home. It is real, raw, and transformational. The journey of emotional growth isn't easy, but it's worth it. I believe in you. EQ Gangsters. Today's episode is going to be about hospitality, the gift of hospitality, and some lessons learned from a family that I spent some time with a month ago or so that have this gift, have this superpower of hospitality. So I'll just mention their first names. I won't mention their last names, and I won't mention their kids' names, but their whole family. It's amazing. I'm excited to share the story. So Billy and Beth was spending some time in this town so that I could to visit a mutual friend, both a friend of myself and Billy. And we were spending some time with this friend, and Billy reached out to me because Billy is one of the guys that I went to Kodiak Island, Alaska with, which, man, I still haven't even done that series of episodes of my lessons learned on that trip, which was a year ago almost. That's going to be a whole series of episodes. So I was in town to visit Scott. And so Scott, and who I went to Alaska with, Kodiak Island, he's the one who invited me to Kodiak Island. And so Billy said, hey, Noble, if you want to stay at our house for the weekend, you're more than welcome to while we're visiting Scott. And I'm like, man, that'd be great. Love it. Don't have to, shell out the old hotel room ops, that kind of thing. And plus I get to hang out with, Billy and his family. And it was amazing. And people with this gift of hospitality, there are a number of folks out there that have this gift. I unfortunately am not one of those that has this gift, but I love people. So it's such a fascinating gift for me to watch in action. And it was like half the time I'm trying to be present in communication with he and his family. And the other half of the time I'm trying to learn, man, what is going on? How do they do this? How can they pull this off? So here's some thoughts. And so in my opinion, the concept of hospitality is like the gift of being able to make someone feel completely and comfortable and totally at ease, at peace, no pressure, no anxiety, create an environment that is just totally relaxing and pleasurable and comfortable. And I just don't think there are many people that can pull that off. This is a family that has either developed that gift, and you'll kind of hear some background and context. I think here are some of my thoughts about this experience with this family, Billy and Beth. I think, and I haven't done a deep dive on this yet, but I think in order to really be good at this concept of hospitality with other people, you got to be comfortable in your own skin. If you feel this certain pressure to perform and all this kind of stuff, it's going to be felt by the people around. I didn't feel that, even though they were constantly. I say constantly. They weren't constantly, but there were times throughout the weekend where Billy was cooking, Beth was making food. They're doing stuff, but I didn't feel like it was a pressure to perform. And after talking, so I asked him about this. I'm like, man, what is this deal? Tell me about this gift. And both of them like, man, we genuinely love hosting people. We love having people over. We love, you know, what do you call it? Cooking for people and serving people and like normally if someone tells you that, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm sure you right. I'm sure you do, right? I'm telling you, this couple, this family, man, it was amazing to see. So you got to be comfortable in your own skin. They also thought about each step in the process of having a guest. He picked me up from the airport and it was late, zero dark ridiculous. I'm like, bro, I can Uber. He's like, I got you. Which, man, I totally appreciated that he was willing to do that. It was 30 minutes one way. So an hour at zero dark ridiculous when he could have been catching up the old beauty sleep, and he went out of his way, sacrifice. So I think sacrifice is part of that gift of hospitality, is sacrifice. And so we picked him up from the airport. His teen son gave up his bedroom for me for the whole weekend and stayed with a friend a buddy of his over the weekend, which was great, right? I'm sure, he enjoyed it, get to hang out with a homie. But I mean, having some old dude, taking up your bedroom, like probably not a whole lot of teens excited to do that. And he might not have been excited to do it, but he did it. Like, and even when I saw him over the weekend, like he never made me feel like, hey dude, when are you bouncing from my room? I never felt that vibe either. So his teen son was willing to give up his room. They had water bottle. They had the towels laid out. Boom. Hey, here's for when you take a shower and stuff. Here's your towels and stuff. Snack ops, right? You look at Big Poppy. I don't have a sexy dad bod for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, boom. Here's food ops, right? And it was constant food ops, which, you guys know my love language is culinary acts of culinary service. Especially Mexican acts of culinary service. Right? Y'all know I like some Mexican food, which was, this dude was a grill master, y'all. This guy was a grill master with meat that he harvested. It's a whole different ballgame, a whole different level of appreciation when, oh, hey, I got some burgers from the store. I got some sausage from the store. I got some whatever from the store. He shot and harvested the animals that provided for us that weekend. It's a whole nother level of appreciation. He took the time. It's a whole nother ballgame, which one thing I'm learning about having a new appreciation for hunting and hunters. They appreciate the land and animals more than 99% of the people, because they understand what the sacrifice that they make in hunting, but also that the animal makes in giving up their life for their family, for that particular family, for that hunter's family. So anyway, he provided the meat and the fish. He went fishing in Alaska. We ate some of the fish he caught in Alaska. There was no drama. There was no drama the whole weekend of anybody, the whole family. There's no drama. Totally chill. There were no emotional undertones of tension or drama. And they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. They have 3 teenagers. There's only one little guy who is not a teenager. 3 teenagers, y'all. No drama, no emotional undertones, no tension. Everyone is cool as cucumbers, y'all, as calm as pond water. Everybody. And which is one of the best gifts that a husband and wife and parents can give to children is emotional stability and emotional predictability. Billy and Beth, awesome, calm, cool. No, there was just chill, super, just awesome. They were all servant leaders. Billy loves cooking. Bethany can rock some mean cookies, y'all, mean cookies. And then drinks. Bethany did cookies, did drinks. Billy cooked. The second oldest daughter, that's who I got to spend some more time with, she was willing to jump in and help out wherever either of the parents needed her. Hey, can you help with this? Oh, yeah, I got it. Hey, can you help with this? Oh, yeah, no sweat. Jumped in, and she was the bee's knees, too. Amazing kid, also amazing story. She's got an amazing story all by herself. And I asked him, like, where did this come from? This gift of taking care of people and helping people and this hospitality gift. Both of them, it came from their parents and grandparents. So this is like a generational gift. And, and I'm sure it doesn't work like that every time. I'm sure like every generation doesn't pick up whatever gift from their parents, but for whatever reason, Billy and Beth they have owned this gift of hospitality from their parents and grandparents. So like their house is like the hub of anybody that comes and travels through that area of the country. Like everyone knows they can come stay at their house, at Billy and Beth's house, which again, there's not many people like that. And just that level of flexibility also, that level of flexibility, that level of vulnerability, transparency to have folks, in your house. Now, obviously it's not like just any Joe Schmo from the Alamo can bebop in and stuff, but people that are on their kind of trusted list, it's like an open invitation, like, hey, come hang out a day, couple days, whatever. And if they're in town or if they're not in town, like they probably wouldn't even mind if you stayed at their house if they weren't even in town, right? Just the most giving is another huge one. They're giving. They're so giving with their time, their efforts, their energies, their resources. Just amazing. So selfless is another huge thing. Billy is a history buff. He took me, again, just how thoughtful, right, to think of this stuff. And he didn't know if I was maybe into history or not, but like, hey, dude, let me take you downtown, or the town that he's from. And it's like where the Lewis and Clark expedition in 1804, where it started, the launch of the Lewis and Clark expedition. So guess what we did? He drove us around and drove us to, like, legit, we got to see what like an exact replica of the Lewis and Clark boat that they took on the Lewis and Clark expedition, right? He gave me skinny on, okay, boom, here's kind of how it went down. And it just fascinating. Bethany is like a super ninja dance fitness lady. She does fitness exercises like at the local fitness club. She's one of the trainers, the fitness trainers and stuff. And also she loves it. She's been doing it forever, loves it. And so I'm still trying to get Billy and me to take one of her Zumba classes, huh? Billy doesn't know. Well, he does know because I told him, but I love, hey, I can tear up some Zumba, y'all. Don't let the old Big Poppy vibe, Dad Bob, like get it twisted. That Big Poppy likes to break it down. Okay. They're also like the mayors of their cul-de-sac. They've got like 15, 16 homes in their cul-de-sac. This couple is like the mayor, y'all. They are the party central crib. They literally have a Facebook group and t-shirts for their little neighborhood cul-de-sac. Like, y'all, maybe this is normal for some of y'all that are hearing this, like, oh yeah, we do this all the time. Not this guy. I'm telling you, that is a superpower, y'all, to have the type of family and vibe and communication and heart and attitude to attract your entire cul-de-sac to want to hang out. They do activities almost weekly, if not weekly, at a minimum every other week. They're doing barbecue, they're doing grilling out, they're swimming in the pool, they're doing darts, they're doing hanging out, they're doing cornhole, they're doing whatever activities. They're helping out each other's kids. Oh, some of the other kids are like rock star softball ninjas. And so boom, all the dads help out with pitching or catching or, helping out the kids, however, right? And then Billy, a bunch of the kids just come and hang out and go swimming at their house, like every day over the summer. As long as someone's home, boom. It's like the kid hangout spot. Like how much fun is that? So, boom. So they're thoughtful. It's another thing about hospitality. They're thoughtful. So Billy, went on the Alaska trip, and again, he literally does not know how many deer he has hunted and harvested over his literally 4 decades of hunting. I can count on one hand how many deer I have not hunted and harvested for my family. So he, but on that Alaska hunting trip, after the trip was over, he created a picture book, a photo book, and sent it to me and Scott. He didn't have to do that. Totally thoughtful, and it was I got it inside in our living room. Just thoughtful, that extra mile, giving, that heart, that servant mindset. And check this out. It was such a blessing being on the receiving end of a family, an entire family that has a gift of hospitality. I'm like, man, how do I make other families feel when they're around our family? How do I mean, man, it's like, how do I need to step up my game? Because it just felt great to be a member of their family for a couple of days. Like, man, this is great. I could hang out with this family. Like, when you're like, when it's like, man, I wish I could hang out more with this family. Like, they're doing something right. Because that, again, it's rare. And it's like, for me, I just wonder how people feel like, hey, is it time to go yet from Noble's family? Like, or hanging out with Noble, like, how do I make others feel? Is someone able to take 3 or 4 pages of notes after spending time with me and my family for a couple days? So it takes selflessness. It takes a servant leader heart. It takes tremendous social awareness to be good at hospitality. It takes being comfortable in your own skin, which takes self-awareness and self-management and compassion and grace and understanding and EQ. It was a calming experience. There was no social pressure or having to behave or be a certain way around them. They're genuine. They're intentional about relationships. They genuinely care. Their family, oh, this was super dope. Their family represents the brand and vibe of hospitality. Like, no joke, y'all. The entire family, like, I didn't feel like any member of the family was like, oh man, who's this joker, this old dude, bald beard, tattooed guy hanging out in our house for a couple of days. Like, maybe they were thinking that, but they never communicated that to me. And I'm pretty, I can be fairly savvy with feeling vibes and stuff. So I didn't feel any of those vibes. I felt like the entire family, like, backed up that vibe of being servant leaders and that gift of hospitality. And, there's a quote that I learned a while ago about peer pressure is only as strong as family identity is weak. Peer pressure is as strong as family identity is weak. And this family identity was so strong in that gift of hospitality and giving and selflessness and servant leadership. It was just amazing, y'all. So, it generated some great questions for me, and again, how do I make others feel when they're around me? How does my family make others feel when they're around my family? What emotions, thoughts, feelings do others feel or think when they have spent time with me or my family? So how can I be more intentional at relationships? How can I be more intentional at a gift of will I ever be as proficient as their family that has been doing this for probably 4 or 5 decades? Probably not. But can I get better? Can I go from a 1 to a 2? Can I go from a 2 to a 3, a 3 to a 4? Can I improve a little bit? How can I be more intentional at leading, encouraging, and inspiring my family to be more hospitable, to have better, to think through this stuff? Again, will we ever be at Billy and Beth's level? Probably not. But man, I just think that there's no greater investment that we can make than in other people, than in the lives of other people. And what difference did Billy and Beth's family make in me that I do a whole freaking podcast episode on their family. Like that's, I took 3 pages of notes from their family. And honestly, if I spent some more time reflecting, I could probably come up with a couple more pages of notes. But it's like, man, that just how they left me feeling. I left their family feeling better than when I showed up to their family. Like I just felt like, man, that was such an amazing family. Um, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so hope that encourages you all. If this resonated with you, please share it. Leave a comment either on the YouTube channel. For y'all, you can see my backyard a little bit. And if you're on the podcast, would love it. Appreciate it greatly if you would rate it, review it, share it, subscribe. Thank you all for, again, being a part of this journey. Emotionally healthy people help other people heal emotionally. Emotionally healthy leaders create emotionally healthy cultures and organizations, which create maximized, optimized results, outcomes, performance, and engagement.